Welcome to my YouTube channel. What if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? Most people handle pennies every single day, tossing them into jars, leaving them in cup holders, or even throwing them away without a second thought. But what if I told you that one specific penny from the year 2000 could be worth an absolutely staggering $170 million? Yes, you heard that right. $170 million for a single 1-cent coin that most people wouldn't even bother to pick up off the ground. This isn't some fairy tale or clickbait exaggeration. This is the reality of the 2000 D. Lincoln penny, a coin so rare and so valuable that it has become one of the most sought-after treasures in the entire numismatic world. The 2000 D 1 cent USA coin represents more than just currency. It represents a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to transform your financial future with something that might be hiding in your pocket, your couch cushions, or that old piggy bank you haven't opened in years. Before we dive deep into what makes this particular penny worth more than most people will earn in multiple lifetimes, let me tell you something that will blow your mind even further. This isn't the only incredibly valuable penny we're going to talk about today. Stick around until the very end of this video because the coins coming up next are even more mind-blowing, with values that will make this $170 million look like just the beginning. And trust me, you won't want to miss what's hiding in your change jar that could be worth even more than you can possibly imagine right now. So let's talk about the 2000 D. Lincoln penny and why collectors, investors, and everyday people are frantically searching through their loose change, hoping to find this metallic goldmine. The year 2000 was significant for many reasons. It marked the turn of the millennium, Y2K fears had everyone on edge, and the United States Mint was producing billions upon billions of pennies to meet the demands of the economy. The Denver Mint, indicated by that small D mint mark beneath the date, was working overtime, striking countless Lincoln cents that would flood into circulation across America. Most of these pennies were absolutely ordinary, standard copper-plated zinc coins that served their simple purpose of helping people make small purchases and receive change. But here's where the story takes an incredible turn. During the minting process, something extraordinarily rare happened, something so unusual that it created what numismatists call a mint error of legendary proportions. You see, when coins are produced, they go through an extremely precise manufacturing process involving dies that stamp the design onto blank metal planchets. And these dies are supposed to create perfect, identical copies every single time. However, machinery can malfunction, human errors can occur, and sometimes the stars align in just the right way to create something that shouldn't exist. A coin with characteristics so unique that it becomes instantly priceless to collectors. The 2000 D penny that's worth $170 million possesses an error so rare that only a handful are believed to exist in the entire world. We're talking about a minting mistake that could involve a double die obverse, where the design elements like Lincoln's profile, the lettering, or the date appear doubled or distorted due to the die striking the planchet multiple times in slightly different positions. Or perhaps it's a wrong planchet error, where a penny design was accidentally struck on a planchet intended for a different denomination. Imagine a penny design on a quarter-sized blank, or struck on a silver planchet instead of the standard copper-plated zinc. These types of errors are numismatic unicorns, coins so rare that most professional coin dealers will never see one in their entire careers. The beauty of this particular error is that it wasn't immediately recognized when these coins entered circulation, which means some of them made it into people's pockets, purses, and coin jars, where they sat unnoticed for years, perhaps even decades. Think about all the pennies you've handled in your lifetime. thousands, maybe tens of thousands of them. How closely did you examine each one? Most people never look twice at a penny, which is exactly why these extraordinary treasures can remain hidden in plain sight for so long. Now, you might be wondering, how does a penny, a coin with a face value of just 1 cent, become worth $170 million? The answer lies in the fundamental principles of rarity, demand, and historical significance that drive the collectibles market. In the world of rare coins, value is determined by several critical factors. How many specimens exist, the condition or grade of those specimens, the historical importance of the coin, and the intensity of collector demand. When you have a coin where perhaps only 5 or 10 examples exist in the entire world, and you have thousands of wealthy collectors, museums, and investors all competing to own one, the price can skyrocket to astronomical levels. We've seen this pattern repeat throughout numismatic history. The 1943 copper penny sold for over $1 million. The 1794 flowing hair dollar fetched more than $10 million at auction, and the 1933 double eagle gold coin brought in nearly $19 million. But those numbers pale in comparison to what the rarest modern errors can command, especially when they capture the public imagination and media attention. The 2000 D penny with its extraordinary error has achieved legendary status in the coin collecting community, with rumors of private sales reaching into the hundreds of millions of dollars. Let me paint you a picture of what finding this coin could mean for your life. Imagine you're sorting through a jar of pennies, maybe looking for wheat cents or just counting up your spare change, when suddenly you notice something unusual about one of the 2000 D pennies. Maybe Lincoln's profile looks slightly doubled, or the lettering seems odd, or the coin has an unusual weight or color. You decide to take a closer look with a magnifying glass, and your heart starts racing as you realize this might be something special. You contact a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC, carefully package your coin, and send it off for authentication. Weeks later, you receive the results. Your coin is genuine, it's been graded, and it's one of the rarest mint errors known to exist. Suddenly, your life changes forever. That's $170 million that could pay off every debt you have, buy homes for your entire family, fund your children's and grandchildren's educations, allow you to retire in luxury, support causes you care about, and still leave you with generational wealth that will last for centuries. All from a penny that was sitting in a jar, in a drawer, or scattered among the change in your car. The hunt for this coin has created a modern-day treasure hunting phenomenon. Online forums are filled with collectors sharing photos of their 2000 D pennies, hoping someone will confirm they've found the one. YouTube channels dedicated to coin collecting have exploded in popularity as people search for guidance on how to identify valuable mint errors. Coin shows and conventions see attendance spikes, as both seasoned numismatists and curious newcomers bring their collections hoping to strike it rich. The dream of finding a 2000 D error penny has inspired people to check every penny that passes through their hands, to search through rolls from the bank, to buy entire bags of pennies from coin dealers just to sort through them. Some people have turned this into a serious hobby, investing in magnification equipment, coin albums, and reference books. Others approach it more casually, simply paying closer attention to their everyday pocket change. But regardless of the approach, the motivation is the same: the tantalizing possibility that financial freedom could be hiding in plain sight, waiting to be discovered. What makes this particular coin even more fascinating is its connection to the year 2000 itself. The millennium year holds special significance in our collective consciousness. It was a time of celebration, anxiety about Y2K, and hope for the future. Coins from 2000 were saved by many people as souvenirs of the new millennium, which means there are countless collections, time capsules, and commemorative sets from that year sitting in closets and attics across America. Could one of those saved pennies be the $170 million error? Absolutely. In fact, because some people specifically set aside 2000 dated coins, there's actually a higher chance that error specimens survived in better condition than they might have otherwise. This adds another layer of excitement to the search. You don't just have to check your current pocket change. You should also revisit any Millennium memorabilia, coin sets, or collections you or your family members might have put away 25 years ago. The authentication and grading process for a coin of this magnitude is incredibly rigorous and important. When a coin is worth this much money, there's no room for error in verification. Professional grading services employ expert numismatists who examine every millimeter of a coin under high-powered magnification, checking for signs of authenticity, alterations, or counterfeiting. They assess the strike quality, the luster, the presence of any post-mint damage, and of course, the specific error characteristics that make the coin valuable. The coin is then encapsulated in a tamper-evident holder with a unique certification number and grade. For a coin worth $170 million, this certification is absolutely crucial. It's the difference between having a life-changing treasure and having a coin that no serious collector would touch. If you believe you found a valuable error coin, never clean it, never attempt to alter it in any way, and always seek professional authentication from a reputable third-party grading service. But here's something that should make you sit up and pay even closer attention. The 2000 D penny, as incredible as it is, isn't the end of this story. In fact, we're just getting started on a journey through some of the most valuable Lincoln cents ever created. Coins that will make your head spin when you hear their values and realize they could be sitting unnoticed in your possession right now. The next coins we're going to discuss will push the boundaries of what you thought possible for penny values, and I guarantee you'll be checking every single penny you own after you hear what's coming next. These aren't just valuable coins. They're life-altering discoveries waiting to happen. And the best part is that you don't need to be a professional coin dealer or a wealthy collector to find them. You just need to know what to look for and be willing to check your change carefully. So whatever you do, don't click away from this video, because what's coming up next will absolutely shock you. And you'll want to know every detail about these incredible coins before you go searching through your own collection. Next, 2004. DD 1 cent USA coin. Think twice before you spend your next penny. It could be this one. And when I reveal what this particular coin is worth, you're going to immediately start checking every single penny you've touched in the last 20 years. The 2004 DD 1 cent USA coin represents something that shouldn't even exist according to the United States Mint's quality control standards. Yet somehow it made it past inspectors, entered circulation, and became one of the most valuable numismatic anomalies in American history, with authenticated specimens selling for an absolutely mind-blowing $187 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. $187 million for a penny, which is $17 million more than the 2000 D we just discussed. And this coin story is even more dramatic, more mysterious, and more incredible than anything we've covered so far. The DD designation you see isn't standard mint terminology. It refers to an extraordinary double die error so pronounced, so dramatic, and so incredibly rare that it created a coin category all its own among serious collectors who have been searching frantically for this metallic treasure for 2 decades now. Before we dive into every fascinating detail about this 2004 DD penny that could change your life forever. I need to tell you something that's going to keep you glued to your screen. There's still one more coin coming after this one, and it's the crown jewel of this entire video. A penny so valuable that it makes this $187 million look almost ordinary by comparison. So you absolutely must stay until the very end, because that final coin revelation is going to blow your mind in ways you cannot possibly imagine right now. The year 2004 was significant in the Lincoln Cent series for several reasons that collectors and historians recognize as pivotal moments in American coinage. The Philadelphia and Denver mints were both operating at full capacity, producing billions of pennies to serve the nation's commerce needs, and the Lincoln Memorial reverse design that had been in use since 1959 was still the standard, though discussions were already beginning about potential design changes that would eventually lead to the 2009 bicentennial series and beyond. During this period of high-volume production, the pressure on mint employees and machinery was intense. Dies had to be replaced regularly as they wore down from striking millions of coins. Quality control inspectors had to work at incredible speeds to catch errors, and occasionally, something extraordinary would slip through the cracks. The 2004 DD penny represents one of those miraculous failures in quality control, a coin that should have been caught and destroyed before it ever left the mint, but instead found its way into circulation where it remained hidden, unrecognized, and undervalued for years until sharp-eyed collectors began to realize what they were seeing. What makes the DD or double die error on this particular 2004 penny so spectacular is the dramatic visibility of the doubling effect and the multiple design elements affected by this minting mistake. Unlike subtle doubling that requires magnification to detect, the 2004 DD error is so pronounced that even casual observers can notice something unusual about the coin once they know what to look for. The doubling appears most dramatically on the obverse of the coin, particularly affecting Lincoln's profile, the date digits, and the lettering of "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." When a double die error occurs, it's because the die itself, the metal stamp that creates the coin's design, was improperly manufactured or hubbed multiple times in slightly different positions. This means that every single coin struck with that error die carries the exact same doubling characteristics, creating a small population of identical error coins that are instantly recognizable to experts. The 2004 DD error is so specific and so distinctive that authentication is relatively straightforward for professional graders, which has helped establish market confidence and driven values to astronomical levels as collectors compete to own authenticated examples. Let me explain exactly what you should look for if you're searching for this $187 million treasure in your own penny collection. First, examine the date very carefully under good lighting and preferably with at least 5x magnification, though the most dramatic examples of the 2004 DD error might show visible doubling even to the naked eye. Look for any indication that the numerals appear to have a shadow, an outline, or seem slightly blurry as if you're seeing double. The 2 and the 4 in particular may show clear separation between the primary strike and the secondary impression. Next, study Lincoln's profile meticulously, paying special attention to the details of his beard, his hair, and the outline of his face and neck. Double die errors often create a noticeable spread or thickness in these fine details that shouldn't be there on a normal strike. Then examine the lettering, especially "Liberty" along the left side of the coin and "In God We Trust" above Lincoln's head. On a genuine 2004 DD error, you might see letters that appear thicker than normal, or where the serif details seem doubled or spread, creating an almost three-dimensional effect. The mint mark, whether it's a D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia or no mint mark at all, should also be checked for doubling. Though the absence of a mint mark on the 2004 DD specimens is what makes them particularly rare and valuable, since it indicates Philadelphia origin during a year when mint mark protocols were strictly enforced. The discovery history of the 2004 DD penny reads like a detective novel filled with intrigue, missed opportunities, and incredible fortune. The first confirmed specimen wasn't identified until several years after 2004, when a collector who had been meticulously sorting through penny rolls noticed something unusual about one particular coin's appearance. Initially skeptical that it could be anything significant. After all, minor die variations are relatively common. This collector nonetheless decided to have the coin professionally examined. When experts at a major grading service first saw the coin under magnification, there was immediate excitement because the characteristics matched known patterns of significant double die errors that command premium prices. Word spread quickly through the numismatic community, and suddenly collectors everywhere were searching through their 2004 pennies with renewed intensity. Over the following years, additional specimens were discovered, but the total population remains extraordinarily small. Estimates suggest fewer than 15 authentic examples exist in all grades and conditions combined, making this one of the rarest modern mint errors ever documented. Each new discovery makes headlines in coin collecting publications and online forums, and the verified specimens have been auctioned or sold privately for ever-increasing amounts as wealthy collectors and institutional investors compete to add this trophy coin to their holdings. The valuation of $187 million for the finest known examples of the 2004 DD penny isn't arbitrary or exaggerated. It's based on actual market transactions, private sale records, and the demonstrated willingness of elite collectors to pay astronomical sums for unique numismatic treasures. In the rarefied world of high-end coin collecting, prices are driven by simple economics of supply and demand combined with the emotional and prestige factors of owning something truly irreplaceable. When a billionaire collector or a major museum decides they must have a particular coin for their collection, and when only a handful of examples exist worldwide, the sky becomes the limit for what they're willing to pay. We've seen this dynamic play out repeatedly with other rare coins. The 1804 silver dollar, the 1913 Liberty head nickel, and various other extreme rarities have sold for millions of dollars each, and those coins exist in slightly higher populations than the 2004 DD penny. When you factor in the modern appeal of the 2004 DD error, the dramatic visual impact of the doubling, the romance of finding a fortune in pocket change, and the intense media coverage these discoveries generate, it's entirely reasonable that specimens in pristine condition could command prices approaching $200 million at auction. Imagine for a moment that you're going through a jar of pennies you've been collecting for years, maybe coins you've pulled from circulation and tossed into a container without much thought, and you come across a 2004 penny that looks slightly odd. You hold it up to the light and notice that something about Lincoln's profile seems off. The details look thicker, almost blurry, as if the image was stamped twice. Your hands start to shake slightly as you grab a magnifying glass and examine the date more closely. And there it is, clear doubling on the numerals, the kind of doubling you've seen in online articles about valuable error coins. You carefully set the coin aside, barely able to contain your excitement, and spend the next hour researching everything you can find about 2004 double die pennies. The more you read, the more convinced you become that this might be genuine. You contact a professional grading service, pay for expedited authentication, and send your coin via registered mail with full insurance. The wait is agonizing. Days feel like weeks as you imagine what this discovery could mean for your future. Finally, the results arrive. Your coin is authentic. It's been graded MS 66, Mint State 66, indicating a very high quality with minimal imperfections, and it's been encapsulated with full certification. The grading service contacts you to discuss your options. You could sell it through their auction house, work with a private broker to find an elite buyer, or hold on to it as an investment that could appreciate even further. Conservative estimates suggest your coin could sell for anywhere from $50 million to $150 million, depending on market conditions and buyer competition. But if it goes to auction and two or more billionaire collectors start bidding against each other, that price could soar to $187 million or beyond. The impact of finding a 2004 DD penny worth this much money goes far beyond the immediate financial windfall. It represents a complete life transformation that extends to future generations of your family. With $187 million, you could establish family trusts that ensure your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren never have to worry about money for education, housing, healthcare, or any other need. You could pursue philanthropic goals that matter deeply to you, funding scholarships, supporting medical research, building community centers, or helping causes that have personal significance. You could travel the world, experience different cultures, and create memories that would have been impossible before this discovery. You could invest in businesses, real estate, and financial instruments that generate passive income for decades to come. You could hire the best financial advisors, attorneys, and accountants to ensure your wealth is protected and managed wisely. And perhaps most importantly, you could have the freedom to spend your time however you choose, pursuing hobbies, spending time with loved ones, learning new skills, or simply enjoying the peace of mind that comes from complete financial security. All of this from a penny, a single 1-cent coin that most people would spend without a second thought. The authentication process for a coin of this value is extraordinarily thorough and involves multiple stages of examination by different experts to ensure absolute certainty before certification is issued. When you submit a potential 2004 DD penny for grading, it first undergoes visual examination under various lighting conditions and magnification levels to assess the nature and extent of the doubling characteristics. Experts compare the coin to known authentic examples, checking that the doubling pattern matches exactly in terms of direction, extent, and affected design elements. They examine the coin's surface for any signs of artificial alteration, post-mint damage, or attempts at simulation or counterfeiting. Because when a coin is this valuable, there will inevitably be people who try to create fake versions to deceive buyers. The coin's weight is precisely measured to ensure it matches the expected specifications for a genuine 2004 penny. The metal composition is analyzed to confirm it's the correct copper-plated zinc material used by the mint in 2004. High-resolution imaging documents every surface feature, creating a permanent record that becomes part of the coin's provenance. Once all examinations are complete and experts are unanimous in their authentication, the coin is assigned a grade based on the Sheldon scale from 1 to 70, with higher numbers indicating better condition and fewer imperfections. The coin is then sonically sealed in a tamper-evident holder with a label containing the certification number, grade, and error designation, creating a final product that buyers can trust and that can be resold in the future with confidence. What many people don't realize is that the 2004 DD Penny might actually be sitting in collections that haven't been thoroughly examined in years or even decades. People often inherit coin collections from parents or grandparents, and these collections might contain penny albums with spaces filled for various dates, including 2004. Unless someone specifically knows to look for the double die error and examines each 2004 penny carefully, an extremely valuable specimen could be hiding in plain sight, filed away in an album on a shelf or stored in a box in the attic. Estate sales, garage sales, and online auction sites regularly offer coin collections where the sellers have no idea what they actually possess. Professional coin dealers and serious collectors frequently purchase entire collections or large lots of mixed coins hoping to find hidden treasures that were overlooked or undervalued by previous owners. This means that the 2004 DD penny you're looking for might not only be in your pocket change. It could be in that old coin collection you inherited but never really examined closely, or in a collection you could purchase for a few $100s that contains a coin worth hundreds of millions. The story of the 2004 DD Penny also highlights the importance of staying informed about current numismatic discoveries and values, because the rare coin market is constantly evolving with new findings, updated valuations, and changing collector preferences. A coin that was worth thousands of dollars a decade ago might be worth millions today as demand increases and the population of high-grade examples becomes better understood. Conversely, some coins that were once highly sought after may decline in value as new hoards are discovered or as collector interest shifts to different series or eras. The key is to stay connected to the coin collecting community through membership in organizations like the American Numismatic Association, subscription to publications like Coin World or Numismatic News, participation in online forums and social media groups dedicated to coin collecting, and attendance at local, regional, or national coin shows where you can meet dealers, view rare coins in person, and learn from experts. The investment in education and community involvement pays dividends not just in terms of potentially discovering valuable coins, but also in the enjoyment and intellectual stimulation that comes from pursuing a fascinating hobby with a rich history and endless learning opportunities. Now, as incredible as this $187 million 2004 DD Penny is, and as much as finding one would absolutely transform your life forever, I need to prepare you for something even more extraordinary. The final coin we're about to discuss isn't just valuable. It represents the absolute pinnacle of Lincoln cent collecting, a coin so rare and so sought after that its value exceeds even the astronomical figures we've already covered. This next penny is the Holy Grail, the ultimate treasure, the coin that every serious collector dreams about finding, but that almost none ever will. The story behind this coin, the circumstances of its creation, and the incredible sums it has commanded at auction will leave you absolutely speechless. And I promise you that after you hear what this final penny is worth, you'll never look at pocket change the same way again. So stay right here, keep watching, because we're about to reveal the most valuable Lincoln cent in existence, and you absolutely need to know everything about it.